Ivor, these are Met Police figures showing what I guess we already felt as a society, what we'd seen, which is that this conflict happening in a very different part of the world has its ramifications all over.
Absolutely. These shocking figures, I think, really lay bare the rise in tensions we've seen in the UK as a result of the Israel-Hamas conflict. Coming from the Met Police, they say that from the 1st to the 18th of October, there were 218 anti-Semitic offences. That's up from just 15 during the same period last year, and it represents that enormous rise, 1,353%, a truly staggering figure that. And during that same period, there was also a significant rise in Islamophobic offences too, going from 42 last year to 101 this year. That's a rise of 140%. And in that period, the Met said that they've made 21 arrests for hate crime offences, including a man held on suspicion over defacing posters of missing Israelis in Camden in North London, and also separately a man held over 10 incidents of alleged Islamophobic graffiti in the New Malden and Rains Park area of southwest London. 21 arrests, though, out of 330-odd crimes. That's not a huge amount, is it? Just 6.5%. And on that, Deputy Assistant Commissioner Adi Adelakin said stressed the importance the Met places on tackling hate crimes, and specifically on this rise. He said, "It is not acceptable, and I promise we will investigate." Now, we also got some information about how the police are going to tackle the planned large protests planned in London tomorrow, pro-Palestinian demonstration following a similarly large one last Saturday, amid concerns that some going to these events are not just expressing support for Palestinians, but also for Hamas. So we heard that there will be more than 1,000 police officers deployed. There will be some restrictions around the Israeli embassy when it comes to where protesters can gather and where they can't. And instead of having a stage set up near the Cenotaph on Whitehall, which got a lot of criticism last week for that proximity, that stage is going to be set up elsewhere. And finally, the police also indicated how they will approach the chanting at the protest, which is expected, specifically when it comes to the controversial chant from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. It's controversial because for some, of course, it's calling for an end to the Israeli occupation of the West Bank, but to others, many Jewish groups, it is calling for the end to Israel as a whole, as a state. But the Met said that if that chant is uttered at the protest, in the wider setting of the protest, then in all likelihood it would not constitute an offence. But they gave some specific examples where it probably would constitute a hate crime. For example, outside a synagogue, a Jewish school, or directly at a Jewish person. And they said that they highlighted that example because they feel it really underlines the difficulty, they said, when it comes to public order policing, which they said is rarely as straightforward as it may appear.